Leela stood at the corner of the hotel ballroom, holding a half-empty glass of soda. She was a final-year design student, quiet, hardworking, and painfully aware of how invisible she felt among her wealthier classmates. They laughed in groups, showing off their dresses and phones. She smiled when they looked at her, but behind the polite curve of her lips sat exhaustion, the kind that comes from juggling night shifts, studies, and the unending ache of being the poor girl among dreamers. That same night, across the hotel's other wing, a charity gala unfolded under chandeliers. Men in tailored suits whispered about business empires. One of them, a young billionaire named Adrian Hale, stood out for his calm presence and quiet confidence. Everyone knew his name, but few knew the man. Fate, however, knew both. When a jealous guest decided to teach another a lesson, a glass meant to embarrass someone else ended up in Adrian's hand. Within minutes, dizziness blurred his vision. Heat raced through his chest. He excused himself, searching for air. And that's when he stumbled into Leela. She caught his arm before he fell. "Are you all right?" she asked. His eyes met hers, lost, vulnerable, almost pleading. "Please, help me," he whispered. She guided him down the corridor, begged a staff member for a room, and helped him lie down. He trembled, half conscious, fighting the drug in his blood. "Just breathe," she said softly. "You're safe." But safety wasn't enough to stop what was happening inside him, or her. He reached for her hand, and something in her chest shifted. Maybe it was fear, maybe compassion, maybe loneliness, recognizing loneliness. When he whispered, "Don't leave," her heart betrayed her reason. The moment turned heavy, then tender, then too much. By morning, he awoke to an empty bed and a single silver bracelet left behind. He searched for her. He never found her. She ran from that hotel ashamed, frightened, and unknowingly carrying his children. What would you have done if you were her? Stay to explain, or disappear forever? And if you think that was the end of their story, it was only the beginning. But before we go on, if stories like this stir your heart, make sure you're subscribed. Because some stories deserve to find the people who still believe in love after heartbreak. 5 years passed. Leela now lived in a small apartment on the edge of the city. 2 small voices filled her mornings, twin children, Sam and Nia. Her light, her secret, her reason. She worked as a junior designer at a large company. She kept her head down, careful never to draw attention. No one at work knew the truth, that her twins were born from a night she couldn't name. Every day was survival, breakfast, bus rides, endless deadlines, and then home, where her children's laughter made everything worth it. Her fiancé, Martin, was the kind of man who promised stability but demanded silence. He wanted Leela, not her past, not her kids. "Just think of your future," he'd say coldly. One night, his uncle invited them to a gala at the same hotel where her life had once broken into. She told herself it was coincidence, until fate stepped out of a black car. Adrian Hale, the billionaire, the man she had once helped and left, he walked through the crowd with the same calm power, unaware of the woman watching him from across the hall. Heart pounding in her chest, Martin saw her distraction and frowned. "Don't embarrass me," he hissed, but embarrassment came anyway. When he publicly insulted her children, calling them baggage, tears filled her eyes. "They are not baggage," she said, steady but shaking. The room went silent, and then Martin grabbed her arm too hard. "Leave, now!" Before she could speak, security moved, not on Martin's command, but Adrian's. "Let the lady go," Adrian said evenly, his eyes on Leela. For a heartbeat, she didn't breathe. Something about him felt hauntingly familiar. What would you have done if the man who once changed your life appeared as your savior, but didn't recognize you? After the chaos, Adrian found her in the hotel lobby, sitting with her twins, trying not to cry. He approached gently. "Are you all right?" "I will be," she said. Her voice was calm, but her hands trembled as she held her children close. He noticed the fear, the strength, the quiet dignity, and something inside him stirred. When the hotel staff warned that Martin might file a false kidnapping claim, Adrian made a choice. He turned to her and said softly, "Let me protect you." She looked up, startled. "How?" "Marry me," he said. "On paper. Just for tonight. It gives me the right to stand between you and anyone who wants to harm you." Leela blinked, speechless. "I don't even know you." He smiled sadly. "You know enough. And I'll never ask for more than your trust." She thought of her children, of the fear in their eyes. Then she nodded once. Hours later, under the quiet hum of the city registry office, 2 signatures turned into a shield. "Does this mean we go home together?" Little Nia asked. "Yes, love," Leela whispered. "It means we're safe." Adrian smiled at them both, unaware that the 2 small faces looking up at him were mirrors of his own. That night, as the city slept, he placed a silver bracelet he still carried into his pocket, feeling a strange peace. What would you have done if a stranger offered marriage to protect your children? Would you trust him or run again? Weeks passed. Adrian kept his word. He never overstepped, never pried, just quietly supported Leela and her kids. He fixed what broke, brought groceries, even helped with homework. She started smiling again. The twins adored him, but the world outside wasn't kind. At work, jealous colleagues targeted her. Her design was stolen by a rival and leaked to another company. Rumors spread that she had betrayed her team. She was suspended. Adrian's company, her boss, her secret husband. He could have told everyone the truth, but he didn't. Instead, he fought from the shadows, exposing the thieves and clearing her name. When the investigation ended, her design was restored, and her heart realized something. She wasn't just safe with him. She was seen that evening as he sat at her table helping Nia cut paper flowers. She noticed something small, the silver bracelet on his wrist. Her breath caught. It was hers, the one she left behind 5 years ago. Her voice trembled. "Where did you get that?" Adrian froze. "I've had it since the night a stranger helped me." Tears filled her eyes. "It was me," she whispered. "That night, it was me." Silence. Then understanding. Then everything at once. Grief, joy, love, forgiveness. He touched her face, voice breaking. "All these years, I searched for you. And all this time," she said, crying, "I thought I had to hide." They kissed, not from desire, but from relief, from recognition, from everything they had lost and finally found again. What would you have done if you discovered the stranger you loved once was the father of your children all along? Their reunion should have been the end of the storm, but it wasn't. Adrian's jealous stepbrother and a disgraced employee plotted revenge. They leaked false reports, trying to ruin both his company and Leela's name. But this time, The heroes weren't adults. It was Sam and Nia, the twins, who secretly recorded the villain's confession on a phone and brought it to Adrian. The truth spread like sunrise. Justice was swift. The conspirators were arrested, and for the first time, Leela's name shone publicly. Not as scandal, but as strength. Adrian stood before his board, his company, and the world. This woman, he said, taught me that kindness can change fate. She saved my life once. Now I want to spend mine protecting hers. A week later, he asked her, truly this time, to marry him again. No signatures, no fear, just love, in front of their children. She said yes, and when Nia asked, does this mean we'll always be together? Leela smiled and said, yes, my love, this time forever. What would you have done if life gave you a second chance to love? Would you forgive or walk away? Life doesn't always give us perfect beginnings. Sometimes it starts with mistakes, pain, or shame. But love, real love, finds a way through honesty, patience, and forgiveness. Leela lost everything the night she helped a stranger. Years later, that same act of compassion brought her everything she ever needed. Because the world remembers kindness, and fate always returns what the heart gives away. So if this story touched you, remember, somewhere, someone's life might change because you chose to care, and that is worth believing in.